Good evening and welcome to the Orleans Hotel and Casino. We're proud to be celebrating the 10th anniversary of this year's National Finals Tonight show. Brought to you in part by Cinch, Prefert, Crown Royal Vanilla, Absolute, Bullet Bourbon, Jameson, 14 Hands Wines, Bud Light, Ram Rodeo, Neutrina, Boot Barn, Montana Silversmiths, Cactus Saddles, Big Tex Trailers, Resist All Hats, American Cowboy Magazine. National Finals tonight with 8-time world champion bull rider Don Gay, 8-time world champion cowboy Joe Beaver, and the men and women of the NFR. Sit back, relax, and enjoy National Finals tonight. And now, here's your host, award-winning television personality, Mr. Dan Miller.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out on Saturday night to National Finals tonight, and it is absolute chaos back there. I'm glad to get out here where it's a little quiet, so we're glad to have you here. There's so much to do. Look at the buckles and booze. Boy, we are ready to give out some gifts tonight and do that. Did many of you go to the round 10 tonight? Were you at the rodeo? Unbelievable, wasn't it? Talk about coming right down to the wire. We appreciate you being here with us. This is our 100th show of National Finals tonight, 10 years, and we're going to be celebrating that tonight as well, and we're honored to have you here with us. So let's bring out our first, I'm just going to call him a star since he's by himself tonight. He's the 8-time world champion bull rider. He's the best ever, my best friend for 30 years. Donnie Gay is here. Would you bring him out here, Donnie?
Good evening. How about things get right on Saturday night?
How about it, huh?
You know, it was a great NFR.
Oh, my gosh.
Really was.
And it didn't matter where you went around town. I think everybody had the same feeling, Donnie. The most competitive and right down to the wire things tonight, right to the last man up. They changed.
Well, they talk about changing formats to you know, maybe having a, you know, just a 10-man shootout and all this kind of stuff to gin up the excitement. Well, you know, if you can't sell any more tickets, what's the point? And all but one event came down to who's cowboy enough to get the money tonight.
Yeah.
And that's the way the National Finals has been since 1959.
Yeah, just incredible. We've got a lot of things and a lot of video to show you, but Donnie, let's just run through the world champions here. Tim O'Connell's who you're talking about in the bareback riding. It was him. But Tyler Wagaspak in the steer wrestling, your world champion. Team ropers, the Canadians, Simpson and Bueller. Tyson Durfee.
Is there somebody from Canada in here tonight?
Yeah.
All right.
Aren't you glad to be here? How cold is it back home? I'm telling you. Minus 38. I live in Cody, Wyoming, and it's been 23,
okay,
24
so I got
below.
a question. You know, it's
Yeah.
minus 38. Everything is frozen up there. I'm up there, and it's like minus 35 or something like that, and they give me a Labatt's Blue, and it's room temperature. What's wrong with that picture? Oh, that was a long time ago.
Did they put marshmallows in it to warm it up for you, just like hot chocolate,
no.
huh? And also, of course, Mary Berger and Sage Kimsey are our world champions here tonight. But we had a shootout this afternoon. Did any of you go to the shootout this afternoon?
How about a good rodeo, huh? Yeah.
These guys are rodeo fans
Could buy
here,
a ticket
Donnie.
and go in and sit down in your own seat. That was nice.
I like that. And so we're going to just kind of congratulate and salute the winners here tonight, and we're going to give them away buckles. Donnie, just show one of the buckles, and this huge bottle. Let's bring this lady out from 14 Hands. Melissa DeMaio, would you come out, please? Is she coming out from over here, Sean, or over here? But come on, give her a hand, will you please, right here, this young lady? She is going to be handing out these small, wow, Melissa, how much do those weigh, do you know?
Oh, wait.
Wow.
Well, I got to lay down to drink this, y'all. It's a good thing I didn't win that sucker.
My.
You talk about get taller in a hurry.
Man, that's pretty. Melissa, we're glad you're here, and she's going to be presenting that. The first 3 winners today have all caught jets home and have left Las Vegas. But, Donnie, we still have video of them, and let's take a look at those, starting with the shootout in the bareback riding. Bobby Moat. Bobby Moat won that today. Let's take a look at his ride, Donnie.
Well,
87
Bobby
points.
Moat, 4-time champion of the world. And I saw him qualify, and I watched him ride, and I thought, you know, that's as good a ride as I've seen him make in a long time. But he comes back, and I had to go to the other rodeo before I saw the shootout finish here. But, you know, whenever you have won 4 world titles and you come to an event like the Boyd Gaming Cinch Shootout, this is what makes rodeo so special. You know, it's how soon they forget. Bobby Moat's going to get all the money. He got a buckle. He's got about $12,000 in prize money. Makes a great Christmas, and you know, and it's just hats off to Boyd Gaming for putting on such a quality event.
Let's have a hand for Bobby Moat. We will pass that along to him. And Donnie, in the steer wrestling, Kyle Irwin, who won run of the rounds as well, but he won it all today. His time was 3.76. Let's take a look at that for Kyle.
Well, the format, you know, is different, but I hope y'all liked it. You know, you start out with 8, you cut them down to 6, and then you put those 6 in there, and then the top 3 come back. And when the money's on the line, guys like Kyle Irwin, you push the barrier, you get a good start, you make a nice run, you set things up, you don't hurry. Everything works out, and Kyle Irwin wins the steer wrestling in the shootout this afternoon.
And I think since they're not going to come, you get both of their bottles of
I get
14
both bottles.
hands. Yeah, it's going to be a good night for you
I
here, Donnie.
got my airplane. I'm leaving in it tomorrow. I'm going to have to check the weight and balance. Or maybe I'll drink it tonight and not worry about it. So,
in the team
so
roping.
wait a minute. It's 8 hours between bottle and throttle.
Yeah. That makes it legal, doesn't it, huh?
Yes.
In the team roping today, Dustin Squeeza and Clark Adcock smoke and run, and our buddy Joe Beaver's on his way. He ended up second today.
He wound up second, but you know, he hit a post. But you know, first is first, and these guys come in and make a scorching run. You know, and the healer does a wonderful job because the header, as you can see, has run out of room. He's against the wall, but you got to be tight to get a flag. Everything's working out. I mean, he sticks it on him. I mean, almost for the barrier trip. Nice job by the healer, pulling things tight and speeding things up, and gets the win.
Got the win, and the time again was 14.40. They went.
But I just loved it. Joe Beaver, just before I left, I watched him run, and I'm hollering for the graybeards. I bet money on him because you can gamble on this deal. And Joe B is 3.94 in the first round to get back into that final 3.
Awesome. Joe's going to be here. Joe is stuck in traffic, if you can imagine that. They lost his keys.
He's coming.
He's on his way here. Okay, Donnie, let's move now to the saddle bronc riding. Court Shear. This was on Spider, Donnie, a 90-point ride for Court Shear.
Okay, I mean, the guy's going to wind up being a movie star. He's riding bucking horses. He's been to the national finals. He's here. He's getting Christmas presents lined up. But watch him set his feet. Court Shear's a real cowboy. He doesn't worry about flash or anything else. You know what? He lets his spurs do the talking in the saddle bronc riding. Good horse, good ride. That's money every single time. Court Shear, a real champion in the saddle bronc riding.
And Court Shear is here. Bring him out here. Let's give him some of the goodies here. Court, good to have you here. Thanks for coming out, man. Stand right there with Donnie.
All right, Court.
Let's get you a buckle over there,
Let me get your
Court.
buckle. Let me find it here. In the saddle bronc riding, here you are.
Okay.
You get to hold that. I get to hold this, and come on, honey, you get that.
Come on in there, sweetheart.
We got to do a
there.
photo op here.
Donnie, get right in there with him. Take a nice
right,
photo there.
Court,
Court
let's
Shear,
get her
ladies
hemmed
and
up.
gentlemen.
Okay, Court.
Okay.
So you make a haul. You got the buckle.
Okay.
Oh boy, you're gonna have to drink that all by yourself. But how good is the Boyd Gaming Shootout?
Oh, it's amazing. You know, Cinch does a great job making rodeo better to me. You know, they're just trying to make everything better for the cowboys, for the fans, and this is built for the fans. It brings the top cowboys, shootout format. Best guy wins, come out, you know, don't hold anything back. You know, you don't want to be the best average cowboy, you want to be the best cowboy. So, I mean, it was awesome. If you're not 90, you ain't going to win nothing.
All right. Well, that's a big shout out to Court Shear, our champion
Give him a
saddle
hand,
bronc
Court
rider.
Shear. Thank you so
and
much.
Boyd Gaming for making this Rodeo Central.
Here, give him his certificate there, Donnie, and Court. That's a load right there, buddy.
It's going to really hurt my fuel mileage.
Gonna hurt his fuel mileage.
Court Shear. And I tell you, Donnie, before we talk about the tie-down roping, I think we ought to get everybody out here to do that. So let's get Joe Beaver out here, and let's get Joe. Do you have presents tonight? All right, bring out. Okay, and he's with the winner, Fred Whitfield. Give them both a hand. Come on out
Freddie.
here, guys.
Present right here.
I mean, these guys are neighbors too.
Right,
You know.
Hey, 5 on your side for 10 rounds. You got it? 5 on my side for 10 rounds. Here we go. Send it to him, Fred. 10 rounds. 10 people.
You know, Joe,
Nicely done, gentlemen.
You ready?
Nicely done.
You ready?
I'm watching all that. Okay, I'm watching all that, and I think Fred's got a little higher ball flight than you do, Joe.
Well, hell yeah, he won the open today. Didn't you see it?
Well, Donnie, let's wait to go ahead and give that. Let's take a look at his run here, Joe.
All
if
right,
you'll
let's
talk,
do it.
you and Fred both talk about it. Let's get a
Because,
microphone for
hey, when he threw
Fred
his
out
hands
here.
up, I told him he just won the open today. One of the best runs you made in a while, right
I
here.
knew that calf was pretty good, and I just wanted to try to be on the start. And that little mare right there, she's 8 years old. I bought her this spring, and she's finally come around to being just a great horse. She drug a little bit the first time, but on this calf, she was perfect.
Well, I'm going to tell you, too, from what I saw, when they let you go first, that's your best spot for you. You nail the barrier, you roped him, but here's the key, people. You see they say they can't turn them around. At our age, if we can turn them around, surely a 25-year-old can. There's the day money, wins the championship. Fred raises the roof in Vegas one more time. My buddy won the tie down.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
We've drank a lot more.
Hey, you know what? I'm a part of a new family here, and I just want to say thanks to Boyd Gaming for accepting me and bringing me in just like I've been around for a long time. You know, it's a special time in my life. Anytime one door closes, another door opens. Always remember that. Never give up on your dreams, and just try to be the best person in life that you can be and go for it.
Here we go.
Fred Whitfield right there. Awesome, Fred.
Hey, there'd have been a day in Vegas when we had that big bottle. It'd have been bad.
All right, how about it for Fred Whitfield?
Yeah, Fred.
8-time champion of the world right there. You know, he's going to be in that best ever conversation.
We need some glasses. We're drinking wine tonight.
I love it, huh? All right, gentlemen, let's move to the next, the girls' barrel racing. And Donnie,
Yeah.
let's take a look at this run
Hey.
before we bring Jana out here. The winning time, 14.763, right down to the thousandths.
Okay,
Jana
look right.
Grimesman.
That first barrel, that's some G-force right there. She dropped to turn the first barrel, thought it looked good. The second barrel, I mean, ooched around it. Here's the difference maker. This horse runs all the way into the third, and when he leaves it, he pushes straight off after rocking it, but he runs straight out of the gate. That cuts the clock. That's the champion here, but it all started right there. You talk about some G-force, like a bronc dropping and turning, Donnie.
I mean, the whole front end dropped down, and she makes such a good adjustment. Got her seat where she doesn't impede the horse in that momentum when they're digging out.
Because right there, if she doesn't have her seat, she drops inside, her hip drops, shoulder drops, she gets a +5, but no. Rode good, nice run, champion.
Let's bring her out here. Jana Grimesman right here behind us. Come on out. Give her a hand, would you please? Yay, Jana.
How about that pretty smile? We got a, Joe's gonna hold that for you.
That's big as
That's
you
as
are.
big as, I guarantee you it weighs more.
Take a picture there, gang. And Jana, we have a lot more. Yeah. Jana, let me show you also what we have over here for you.
We have
Jana,
more
this is
stuff.
for you as well.
We
Not
got all
only,
kinds of stuff.
When
we
you're the
come
champ, you're
bearing
the champ.
gifts.
Here, I can follow you. Come on, let's go.
Here, let me hold that for you.
there, Eric will help you with it, Joe. There, Eric. Awesome. Jana Grimesman. Congratulations. All right, Joe Beaver. Boy, you had a little traffic and a little bit of everything tonight, huh? We are so
no,
glad
it's
you're
better than that. It's better than that.
Well, let's do Brett, and then we'll talk about that. All right, let's step up here in the bull riding, Donnie. Our buddy, where'd you say he's from?
Detroit Lakes, Minnesota.
Yeah, this is on a shortcut right here, Donnie. 86 and a half points.
Brett Stahl made a great ride. He gets into that final cut with those guys, but he doesn't ever let anything bother him. The guy's got a great positive attitude, and as you can see, he can really ride bulls. He's spurring this one the outside foot, you know, and just makes a wonderful bull ride. We threw off most of the guys in the competition, but there's the guy, you know, he won $12,800. He's the high money winner at the Boyd Gaming Shootout. That ain't bad for 16 seconds worth of work.
Would you bring him out here? Brett Stahl, the pride of Minnesota here tonight. Brett, congratulations.
There you go, Brett.
Yeah, man.
Okay, let's go. I'll ask you a question or two. Let's get our picture first. Okay, so you've been across the street to the Thomas and Mack, and I know that's where you intend to go if you get to go all year long. Health-wise, you've had a number of surgeries. Let's just go through the litany of surgeries and what does it mean to not be at the NFR but have a chance to win $12,800 in December. What's that mean to you?
Oh, it's unreal this time of year. I mean, there ain't nothing to go to up north or hardly anywhere with that kind of money. And to not make the finals and sit out for injuries and get to come here and win that much money, it's unreal.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, big shout out, Brett Stahl, the bull riding champion for the Cinch Boyd Gaming Shootout. But he can carry it.
Congratulations,
He can
Brett. It's
handle
good to
it,
have
champ.
you here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's good to see you. Melissa, thank you so much. Would you give her a hand from 14 hands right there? Melissa DeMaio. And gentlemen, let's just move right along here. We have miles to go before we sleep. But Joe, before we do that, tell us your story about getting here.
Oh, I have my vet of the year, Marty Tanner. And, you know, he does a lot for me during the year, and his favorite place is Del Frisco's. So Saturday night's the only night he doesn't work on horses after every rodeo, every performance. You know, he's working on barrel horses, steer wrestling horses, tie down horses. He's busy. So I run to Del Frisco's and valet and run in there, and I run out because everybody's still having dinner, and I give that guy my ticket, and he goes to the stand. He comes back, and he says, "You sure you valeted?" I said, "Where the hell did I get the valet ticket from?" He said, "Oh, sorry, sir." He goes back. So finally, 20 minutes later, I get a cab, and here I am, and still don't know if my
He
car
loses his
is...
keys in the valet, you know, so now you know why he won second today.
Yeah, it's just like it's that day today. It's one of those days. And then he asked me if I valeted it. And after I gave him the ticket. It's just, you know, and people wonder why they get hit, you know?
Let's all do this collectively. Let's congratulate Joe on the second place today. Outstanding, Joe.
Oh, hey.
First loser.
I gotta say, you know, I won second in the Spurs and Spikes golf tournament, and so I consider that a win. And for you to win second today, I watched you be 3.94 seconds, you know, but, you know, actually when you come out of the chute on your next one, you're going to win the whole damn thing, except you hit your rope on the post, didn't you?
Yeah, and the bad thing about it was they've already done it 2 or 3 times this week. And
you knew it.
Hell yes, I knew it. And my steer stepped left, and I knew he did, and I was going to outsmart him and stay wide, but that was my dumb move because I forgot about the little camera in the chute that everybody's been hitting, and I hit it like everybody else. So I guess what Donnie's trying to say is you never can quit learning. I should have learned from others' mistakes, but I've got a kid that can really heal, and the Boyd Gaming, the Cinch Shootout, it's an amazing place for somebody like him to get the rope with the champ and get the rope with Jade Corkill, and, you know, it's just a building place. It's a great place for Fred Whitfield to come back, show him what he's got. I just thought it was a great rodeo and a great venue, and I hope you guys come back to it. So
Yeah, awesome, Joe.
Very well said.
All right, now during the course of the show here this evening, we are off and running here, but if you have any questions that you would like to ask up here, you can text those to us. Of course, that text number is going to be on the screen up there, and we'll keep that up there. But text questions are also coming in, but if you would like to contribute, do that. These shows are posted on YouTube just as soon as we are done with them. If you'd like to go watch these, don't forget tonight the Buck and Ball is going on. We've got prizes to give away to you here this evening when our show is done. So before we do this, I have to tell you my Donnie Del Frisco story. Have any of you ever eaten at Del Frisco's? How much are steaks there? $60 just for the steak?
yeah, it cost me about $500 tonight, $600 something, but yeah, it's worth it because vets are high.
And everything is a la carte there.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want
Yeah.
a potato, it's another.
Yeah, if you want a
$20.
lemon for your water, it's $1. You know
It's
what I mean?
extra for that. So Donnie and I, we had gone.
Country comes to town.
Oh my Lord, we had gone. Now your favorite place to always get a steak was downtown. Remember, what was the steakhouse down there? Was it at the Nugget that you loved their steakhouse?
That's where it's
Binion's.
Binion.
Yeah,
Binion's,
okay.
Binion's up
So
top.
we had just.
Benny Steakhouse, yeah.
We had just finished the finals for the PBR, and so the producer said, "Let's all go to Frisco's, Del Frisco's, and I'll buy." Fine, that's good. Yeah. So we get there, and they bring out this steak for Donnie, and of course the waiter is waiting on Donnie, and he strolls over. He just wants to make sure everything's good, and he said, "Does anybody need anything?" And Donnie said, "Yeah, I believe I'll take a bottle of
You did
bottle
not.
of ketchup for this steak.
At Del Frisco's?
At Del Frisco.
You might as well have walked up to the maitre d' and kicked him right in the where it hurt.
I wish you could have seen the look on the waiter's face. Oh my gosh. He needed a blood transfusion. It just.
Some things you just can't help, Dan.
I think they had to run across town to the grocery store, and they came back with this bottle of ketchup, and Donnie is squirting it all over this steak. Oh,
Could have went to the Golden Corral and got the same
my
result.
Gosh, it was a classic. Oh my. All right, let's.
Well, I
move-
like ketchup.
Oh. All right, round 10 tonight.
I mean, but that waiter, I kept thinking, good God, he's just a little light in his loafers for me.
But yet he still
if he
asked for
asked me
ketchup.
if there was anything he could do, I thought, oh my God.
I guarantee you that wasn't first on his list right there, ketchup. Okay, round 10 is in the books. And
What a round 10.
Oh my gosh, Joe.
Donnie and I try to look so smart on our pre-show, and we try to line up what the numbers look like. And what we always say is, it's not over
Till it's over.
And tonight at my end of the arena and the bronc riding, and the bull riding, that just goes to show you the reason they have an average money is because it's 10 head. And the reason they have 10 head is because doesn't mean the main guy's going to win that you think.
That's right. What it really means is they started the NFR. They give you 10 head for all of the things that can go wrong in a real high-pressure, high-dollar situation. It gives it a chance to even out. So you're going to get screwed some. You're going to get a gift sometimes.
It's going to work out.
But it's going
in the
to
end.
work out in the end if you give it enough time. But you start cutting it off.
Yep. And you take away the average money,
Then it doesn't
then
even
it
out.
takes it
Has
away.
no chance.
Today, I don't care who you are. We saw world champions. We thought we're going to be world champions. We saw rookies. The 10th round will blow your dress up above your head and make you look through the bottom of it, and it did it twice today. That's what makes the national finals a special rodeo.
Outstanding.
Well, that's what makes you watch it each and every
night.
performance.
Yep.
I love it. Round 10. Gentlemen, let's recap it here, if we will. Bareback riding, Donnie. Let's start off with R.C. Landingham, 88.5 on Top Flight.
Okay, Top Flight's this is a real nice pen of bareback horses. So this is to showcase what these riders can do. Now, they're all so sore they can't hardly walk down the aisle.
Okay.
R.C. Landingham, he's been riding extremely well, but he hadn't won as much as he wanted to, but he makes such a good ride. He's 88.5 points. And, I mean, this is poetry in motion. You'd think it's the saddle bronc riding. He's took a jerkin every night. 10 nights in a row.
And
he
answered the
finishes.
bell.
And he finishes like
Yep.
this. He doesn't have to go to the belly. Just an outstanding bareback ride.
In the steer wrestling, this rookie, J.D. Struggs, has won 4 go-arounds at the national finals. And tonight, easy go-around. He just makes a great run. He's going back to take finals next week, but he's going back with 120,000. Look at the start. This horse is one of the ones that has run through the catch all week. In other words, he gets ahead of the steer, puts his feet on the ground, lets him set him up, and he comes with a huge left arm. 3.9 seconds. He wins another go-around. In the team roping, I thought it'd never be over. Everybody roped terrible. This guy has turned 3 steers for 3 go-rounds, but his partner couldn't catch him. But tonight, Wesley catches him. Zach Small over the chute, one swing, gets a good tight rope. Wesley finally gets around this steer instead of cutting in so he can see both feet. Well, then lo and behold, here comes the sleepers. The Canadian team, the first Canadian team to ever make the national finals, wins the go-around at 4.3. Levi has got it on him. Look at the clock. 0.3, he's dallied. Now, what does Old Duck Dynasty do? He just comes around there, puts it on the ground, and sets back.
It's a damn good thing he didn't hang it in the beard.
I thought he was going to dally it one night when he roped the leg, but he won it.
All right, and the saddle bronc riding, how about it? Old Dad, Cody Wright, he is going to ride wound up, this is the bucking horse of the National Finals Rodeo. This is the multi-time world champion, the daddy of all of them Wright kids, and, this is outstanding. He just says, okay, y'all have had your week in the sun. Watch Pops setting his
right.
feet. That was so good. Such a
Tie
good
down
ride.
rope, and 6'5" is the record. Last year's world champ, Caleb Smith. If he'd have done this during the week, he'd have won $150,000. He ropes his calf. When you watch it again, watch how he goes to the outside of the calf with his slack. His horse stops very straight, so he has to turn the calf to the right. If he goes left, he jerks him down. See how he's to the right? That pulls the momentum of the calf to your legs so you can flank him easy. He flanks him and strings him, and right here I'm thinking he just tied Cody O and Trevor. 1/10 off, 6'6", wins the go-around, wins $90,000.
And say that again. He was 6'6".
6'6", people, in the barrel race. This is my hero. This is the ridingest woman ever to sit on a horse. Sherry Servey. This horse tried to hit the second barrel. If you watched her, she took her right hand and got the right cheek. 2 bumps on the right cheek, lined the horse's shoulder back up, and he didn't hit the second barrel like he should have. All right, then we come right back. Guess what? We're going to go left barrel first with Jana Beam. This horse has tons of speed. Got the brow band on him to control his front end to keep it down. When he turns the third barrel, this is where he outrun them all week. Home. They both were 13.59 to win the go-round.
Bull riding was really fun tonight, and Garrett Smith hadn't won a go-round. He's a kid from Rexburg, Idaho. Big guy. He was here last year hazing for his brother in the steer wrestling, and he rides Jay Lazy of my daddy's rodeo company, the Rafter G. Jay Lazy was named after the great Jim Shoulders. That was his brand, Jay Lazy S. This bull has gone to the right 45 times out of 46 times. He went to the left tonight. Garrett Smith didn't get fooled, not 1 ounce. Great ride. He scored 84 points, another $26,000 for a young bull rider that'll be here again.
Give him a hand. Good job, guys. Round number 10.
You know what I thought was kind of funny? And if you watch the TV, I could just hear it in my other ear. But when the rights were all going, you know, Butch is saying, and Cody, he just stuck it on one. I mean, that was a ride, y'all.
That was a nice ride.
That was a teenage ride, if you know. And he says, you know, Rusty misses one out, lets his feet drop. Ryder misses one out, lets his feet drop. Butch says, you know, when these guys get home, they're going to have to work on their mark out practice. They're going to practice that, holding their feet. And I want to get on there and say, not Daddy. He knows what he's doing.
It was awesome. Did
well,
you see
a lot of times, Dan, in pressure situations, you get to thinking about what you're really trying to do, and boy, you're really pumped up, you know. But if you grit your teeth too tight, you don't do those things that are supposed to be automatic.
And it was automatic for Cody.
Okay, let me do 2 things here. One, did you see the sports section of the Las Vegas newspaper this morning, the picture of
Are
Ryder?
you kidding? I didn't get up till 12 o'clock.
There's a picture.
And I knew that because there was ketchup across from my room on the room service deal. There was a big bottle of ketchup, so I knew it was him.
Was it empty?
Yeah. It was empty.
There's a picture of Ryder Wright this morning. I don't know if any of you saw the Las Vegas newspaper. Beautiful. I mean, a full picture of him, fully stretched out, and just an absolute gorgeous picture of him.
He's going to be champion. There's no doubt
well,
about that.
There's no question. You know, barring any kind of injury, he's going to be a world champion. But you know what? He's still got to beat the rest of his damn family, and damn, that's a long line.
You know, they all came to Cody this summer. Donnie and I were doing the Cody stuff.
I'm gonna tell you something. We all talk about this. Don't think Cody Wright don't want to win another buckle.
That showed tonight. He did not want to be bested by his sons, because everybody remembers 2 things. Who won the world, who won the last round. I mean, let's face it. Rest of this, we don't remember nothing come tomorrow. But you remember who won the last round, who won the world championship. Cody Wright just marked it down, said, remember me.
Yeah, and don't forget, whenever we go to Denver and we're all back even again, watch out.
Yeah, exactly right. Colin, I want you to pull up Tyler Smith's ride effort tonight in the bull riding. We got a couple of questions that came through. Joe, while they're pulling that up for Donnie, let me ask you, we had a question about Joe Beaver. When he was here a year ago, he said, I'm going to get me a horse. I don't know where I'm going to get it, but I'm coming. I'm going to get a horse. And he talked about this mare here tonight. Somebody wants to know, is Fred Whitfield back?
You know, if Fred wants to be back, he's back.
Okay, so Tyler gets blowed out the back door, and I'm not sure which weather guard bullfighter that is, but you know what? You can't do any more than take a hooking to try to save your rider. But Tyler Smith is okay, by the way.
Okay.
I mean, okay, you know, comparatively speaking.
Yeah.
Whenever you got 1,700 pounds, blowing snot in your shorts.
Boy, he took one.
Hooking the crap out of the
dusty,
clown, and then steps on your ass.
See how close he came to Dusty there, too?
Yeah,
Ooh.
I mean, Dusty takes the shot, but Tyler, I thought he was going to win the round. This is how smart I am. You know, he's got a good seat on him, but this bull just one round to the right, back around to the left, and if he could have just kept got his arm down, he'd have been
talked
okay.
about that earlier. But here's the scary part to me, and you've talked about it. You can take a hit. People can take a hit, but when they're bucking and they come down with feet right there, you know, that much further, and that man's, you know, in a bind.
That much further, and that's whenever, you know, everybody, including the bull rider, that's a thank you, Jesus moment, because you don't know why you don't get stepped on and Lane Frost does.
Yep.
You know, you never know things of that, but the bull
Thurman.
riders never think about that. And you
You
should
can live through that, but I'm going to tell you, like you said, 1,700 pounds lands on you, you're in a bind.
That was a dangerous deal, but you know what? That's the allure of the National Finals Rodeo, and the way to make a living, trying to be a world champion bull rider. You know that you could be killed. You know that doesn't register to a 20-something. It just doesn't.
He's doing what he loves, and he's making a living doing it, and that's why they do it the way they do, all out every time, and we take our hats off.
I thought the rodeo this year was as good as it has been in the last 10 or 12 years. All the way through every event.
Lots of new blood. We've had them on this stage all week.
The ground was better than it's maybe ever been.
And I'm telling you what, you can watch anytime you go to rodeo, people. If you see some big, strong bucking horses in the bareback riding, the bronc riding,
and the pickup men,
and if they can hold the ground, watch a barrel race. It's going to be good. If they're having problems, the barrel horses have problems. Okay. But you know what? Grounds crew don't get enough shout-outs all over the country. So for all you, anybody volunteers or on the grounds crew out there, thumbs up, because it's a thankless job. Thank you.
All right. Okay, Joe, if you will finish your thoughts on Fred.
Fred, if Fred wants to be back, Fred can be back. You know, Fred can pick. They got it to 100 rodeos. Fred can pick 40, 45 rodeos. And if he has a horse that fits him, age will not stop him, because luckily Fred has been really sound, you know, on his legs and the waist down. That's where guys have to have in the timed events. He's been really sound. He knows how to win. It's just whether Fred wants to put out all the extra to do it. If he does, make a spot for him. If he doesn't, he'll do what he wants when he wants, and it's okay.
And he'll be back at the Boyd Gaming Shootout.
He'll be right back at
and
that
show you that
shootout.
he still got it.
Yep.
Okay, we appreciate the question. One more from the shootout, Joe. This is in the shootout. The tie-down ropers there, though they only given one.
Yeah,
And
you know, it's either catch and you win,
If
or
you
miss and you don't.
if you have to use two loops, you didn't win anyway.
That's exactly. I mean, especially in a one-hit shootout like that, you know. And I'll tell you, it crossed my mind, because the first team out today missed. Derek Begay missed. Second team out's 4-4. Well, I'm trying to win first, but when I hit the chute and it had me fouled and I released, I thought, whatever you do, make sure you catch, because you want to win second. And if you miss, there's always an option of not getting paid for second. So I think you need to catch them to win and get a time, and that's why it's one loop.
Well, you know, and when he hit the chute and he almost got it knocked out of his hand and he slopped it up there to his head, then he did the Donnie thing and fished it on.
See,
Wow.
that's why Donnie's good for my roping, because when I watch Donnie, I find out all that stuff you do to extra to catch.
I can show him how to fish it on.
All right. Gentlemen, we have Bob Tolman has just shown up back there in the back, and let's get him out here and let's talk a little bit more about what we saw today at the Orleans Arena. Would you welcome Bob Tolman here? Bob, come on out, please.
Bad Bob.
There he is.
Give him a round of applause, the best announcer ever to grace the microphone.
This is undoubtedly the guy that set the bar up that everybody that announces rodeos
Strives to get
wants to get to.
Yep.
Bob Tolman is the Cy Talon of my generation.
There's a reason he's smiling today. How about this shootout, Bob? What a success.
Well, I got to get over that first.
Well, not a lot of people are old enough to know who Cy Talon is, but
I stood behind him at the Cow Palace in 1969 in a three-piece suit and announced the slack.
In a three-piece suit, and nobody made fun of him. This guy was he was the most refined person I believe I ever saw in my life.
Well, you know what's cool about that? is I started in 1985, and from before me till after me, it's only been one name that everybody knows, and that's Bob Tolman. So he's outlasted Cy too.
Well,
Okay, enough of that bragging on you,
yeah,
bud.
I was going to say that'll be fine. I come along at the right time. Been blessed for 40 years, and I am not going to do anything but keep doing it. I want to do it 50 years. I've been doing it 43. I want to do it for 50 years so I can say I give away half my life, and then I'm going to live the other half and raise kids and cows and hell. And we raised some
everybody I know that's retired is dead.
Oh, as soon as you quit.
So keep working.
Yeah, you quit, you give it up. We got to watch part of the rodeo over there tonight, and we got to be part of the rodeo over here today and yesterday and there. And I think my big guy, he writes it all down, and I read it, Roger Mooney. I'm
Is
a
Roger
team.
here?
Yeah, Roger, you out there? Is he up there in the back?
I saw him in the casino
Well,
earlier.
he's a Jack Daniels guy, and I saw him a minute ago. He had 2 cases going to the truck. Here's the deal. Last year it was good, and we were all excited, and you roped. Not as good as you roped today. But and you got to give it to your one-footed healer in the first. And that kid's making you shine again. It's like a good horse will make Fred Whitfield shine. I've been out there doing Twitter shots, not wine shots, with Fred.
Oh.
We're on Bookface and all that other kind of stuff. Me and Fred. But when Fred wins, you got to remember now, I was there and a kid when Fred showed up. And I've backed him. I've stood between him in fistfights. I've cussed him, been cussed by him. And I am a Fred Whitfield fan and always have. Okay. Cinch, Boyd, Gaming, Shootout. And I'm a Wrangler guy, and I say that with pride. Here's the deal. Boyd Gaming, all of us had a good idea about 4 years ago and thought. 3 years ago, it came to concept. 2 years ago, said, hell, we got to do it, but we started too late, so last year we got involved. Chris Bays, I think, might be up there, Jackie Frano, and all of our Boyd Gaming people. But you need to understand something, folks. You get an idea, and then you put all the thought patterns you can behind it, and you throw a bunch of money at it. This thing ain't cheap to produce. And then you go find a sponsor. We didn't find one found us, okay? And so when Cinch got on board, we went, oh, boy, we got to go now. We've been popping off. Last year's rodeo was awesome. And we didn't do a whole lot of advertising. It's kind of a test market deal. And what it costs to produce it, that's a big, there's a void in there of profit earned. And then somebody says, and remember now, we're a public company. We've got people in board of directors and advisors and stockholders and people that want to see how we do financially. We jump in and do it again. About, 6, 7 nights ago, I was sitting on this stage, and I was out there, my ticket guy, Richard, and he says, Bob, you're going to sell out, if not close to it, on Saturday. Well, the Thursday tickets are good. Friday ticket yesterday were real good. Today, Roger and I stand up there, and this was a late-coming crowd. How many people came today?
A lot of them were there. A lot of them
All
were
right.
there.
A bunch of them.
Thank you for coming. Get there a little more early next year, okay? But what we do is we gauge what we do and how we do our production by how many people are butts in seats. It's an old adage, butts in seats. And you were raised with it, so you know how that works.
I do.
Now, Donnie was there down on the thank you, just walking down there with us today. That's a shot of confidence, just having you there. Joe would have been there, but he was out and back worried because he knew he had to perform. And we put the pressure on Joe Beaver.
Yeah, because I finally bet on him. Yeah.
So it works that way.
Hard-earned money on Joe B, and that was good. This is a great event.
Oh. Now, you've had all the champions out here, all right? They've been champions in other arenas. Down there, what we watched tonight, it's a changing of the guard. Is it the kids coming up? No. It's the synergy, energy, and what made you, what's still making you, and what we all live for, to see a little change. We don't like abrupt change, but this is a gradual move up, move up. This year, hell, they tore the doors off the place down there.
Okay, Bob, you got to sign this lady's program, and her husband, they've come and they bought tickets to every performance at the shootout. They put down, they've made their bets. You can finally bet on rodeo. They made their bets, and they bet $5 3 times, won a little over $200, and they're just having a ball. And they're in here in the grandstands. But you know, this is for Boyd Gaming to be rodeo central is that's my goal and our goal, to make everybody as welcome in Las Vegas as you can be. And we got the best event at the best price of any place in town.
I want to, as Boyd, yes we do. Yes we do. I want to preface this all about a dear friend of all of ours, and that's Michael and Polygon. Okay? And this was a part of the system that he built in the Coast Properties years ago. And Paula loves cutting horses and roping, and they have the arenas, and so they do that. So we're the benefactors of that. When we, Boyd Gaming and our family, purchased all of these properties, we inherited that beautiful arena. So over the years, they say, well, it's all happening at the South Point. Well, by golly, if it's team roping, it's happening at the South Point. And I am going to give them all the credit in the world for the effort that they put into it to build that to become the team roping capital of the world.
Hey, Bob, I like to team rope.
Yeah.
But, you know, team roping, as far as selling tickets, it's a lot like sex. If you're involved, it is a lot of fun.
And if you're not, it's not good.
We had a hell of a rodeo, and they have team roping in it.
Rodeo is what this man sold every day over there, the package, and it was good.
I didn't think you were going. I've seen you walk to the edge before, but now you've just jumped over the edge naked, and it's okay. So what we have experienced here is guts and glory from our sponsors, our vendors, our managers, our corporations, and our people, and all of you that have bought a ticket. If I've been asked one time this week in this hotel, or told, can we buy season tickets? I bet I was asked 100 times. But what I was told this week, and I'm not going to mention any other of our properties of Boyd Gaming. I'm not going to mention any other properties in this city. Remember, I'm a Nevada guy. I was raised in this country. So I understand gaming. I understand how the system works. And you've been there. Don't make me go there. I saw your wife walk in. I won't do it. But here's the deal. You can come to Nevada, you feel different. By the way, all you Texans out there, when we go home tomorrow, if one of you say Nevada to me in the airport, I'm smacking you. It's Nevada.
Nevada. Okay? He keeps saying Nevada.
But the thing is, you feel different when you come here. You feel different when you leave. I sent out a long text this morning about my beliefs about what we've done here in the last 10 days. I'm getting ready to start a blog. Can you believe it? Susan Canode's going to run it. I'm not going to do it. But it's called Western Things, www.westernthings.com. In about 3 weeks, it'll be on. And I'm going to do a blog weekly for the next 52 weeks. It's where you show pictures of what you're doing and you brag on things. And I'm going to talk about Western things, about boots. Okay, those are farmer boots, and I'm a farmer. So we're going to talk about 4-H kids and FFA. We're going to talk about rodeo at Fort Worth and your daddy at 90 years old. I'm going to talk about feeling Western, about the cow business and beef, and it's good for you. I'm going to talk about little kids that are raised in a Western lifestyle that I think are so much more blessed than a kid that's raised in a cage in the city. And Bob, I want you to understand that's what Boyd Gaming has done. They have reopened the world with the Cinch Boyd Gaming Shootout. You have a new home. Stay with us and bring your friends. We're going to do this for a while.
All right.
And you're going to love it.
Okay, let's get, I want to get Boyd out here to talk just a little bit about what we saw that we never thought. So Boyd, Paul Hamus is here. Would you welcome Boyd, get him out here, and let's talk about what an amazing round 10 it was, Boyd.
Great job.
Boyd, let's just, Joe, we touched on it just briefly, but have you ever seen a round 10 like this here? And if you will just...
I've never seen so many people who didn't want to be a world champion.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times can you just set up the ball for somebody to just go make a run, make a ride, and you'll have a gold buckle? And I could think of at least 4 instances that pop off my head right now.
Okay, well, let me tell you about one of them, and that, Brennan Eldred. Okay, so Brennan Eldred.
He's not even in my 4, but
Okay.
go ahead.
Well, he was extremely disappointed. I mean, extremely disappointed, to the point where Cody Whitney said, "Donnie, you got a minute to go talk to him?" And I said, "Well, sure." And I walked over and I said, "Don't be stepping on your lip here." I said, "Did you really think you could be the world champion 2 weeks ago?" And he just was looking at me. And I said, "It's really hard to win a world championship. And most of the time, you're never, ever going to get one just because you got lucky." And he was sitting by Rory Meyer. I said, "Do you think that Rory Meyer would have, you think he'd trade places with where you are in the average and him riding 1 bull out of 10? I said, "The old saying, be grateful when you win and be graceful when you don't, never applies." I said, "And the best lessons learned are the hardest ones to deal with." And I said, "So you need to get a smile on your face. You won a pile of money. You had a chance to win a world championship. And, buddy, you rode great. So get over it."
He did, but I don't see Brennan's as much as a choke, okay? And
he just got bucked off.
Right, he got bucked off. But
That's not the ones that just
right.
choke.
What I'm going at is and listen, I basically spoke at his wedding and because I recorded his intro after he married his bride, and I consider Cade Swore a great friend. But Cade Swore had a calf they tied in 7 earlier this week. Twice. Cade, all he has to do is rope this calf and be 9-2, because Tyson Durfee, he had a 1.8 second lead on him in the average. If he does that and he finishes in front of Tyson, Tyson's not the world champion, Cade Swore is. Luke Brown and Jake Long, my gosh, the whole field of team, you're the last team to go, bless their hearts. I'm not condemning them, folks, because you want to see somebody choke, give me a horse or a rope, and I'll show you how to choke, okay? So I'm certainly not condemning them. What I'm simply talking about is the overall product of the rodeo. In the 10th round of the National Finals Rodeo, I love it when the pressure's the highest and great things result from it. Tonight, more often than not, when the pressure was the highest, bad things resulted.
I don't mind seeing somebody throw up.
Well,
I'm gonna tell you what this
Okay,
should have been at the announcer's stand.
Them guys were throwing. They were throwing up ropes at my end everywhere.
Okay, and on your end, and you were there. I was standing right next to you when Tyson Durfee was trying to make the national finals, and that young kid named Moore was in 15th, and that's the last rodeo of the year, and Tyson Durfee wrapping his calf up and goes to pull his slack and get it tight, and his hands come off of the piggin string, and he got the flag and went back and tied. He should have been DQ'd.
Shouldn't he been here?
But he 40%ed him. He won both go-rounds, average, and made it in 15th.
Pasadena?
And he's a world
Pasadena,
champion.
Texas.
Pasadena, okay.
He shouldn't have made it, but he's a world
But here's
champion.
another one. Hey, there's this all-around title out there, okay? Clayton, you're in a good spot. Dustin, you're in a good spot. Clay Smith, you're in a good spot. You guys are in the catbirds. Nobody wanted to be the all-around
Clay
champion.
Smith missed the barrier. He had missed it all week. Yeah, Marty Yates. If Marty Yates wins a go-around, he might be the first guy to ever win the championship.
Without getting an average check.
With no average check. He's got one they tied in 7 twice also.
Anyway,
He can't catch.
It was still fun. How can you not be at that rodeo?
I thought it was a great rodeo.
Yeah,
I did. I thought
but
it was
even now, let's go to another upstock event. I'm telling people, Jacobs Crawley
He's a
ain't
lock
bucking
in.
off twice. Okay?
I cannot
Jacobs
stand it when the judges determine who doesn't win the world championship. I mean, Derek Clark would have been the world champion twice if it weren't for the same thing that just cost Jacobs Crawley. And obviously, he missed him out. I saw the right boy, Miss Medicine Woman. I'm sitting there, I'm going, he missed him out. And Sage Kimsey said, well, yeah, but I didn't see a flag. And I said, they should shoot the judges if you didn't. And
Because, Donnie, even though, like we say, even Boyd talked about the other night, me and you, it's a rule. And if you're going to have it, make sure you don't break it.
guess who marked his bronc out? Cody Wright,
Yeah.
2-time champion of the world, and there's a reason he is.
Those are the things I'm talking about as far as I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed. It's a great product. There's great cowboys. They all are in the right. It's the 10th round of the national finals. I just wanted to see a little more product. A little more finish, yeah.
Boyd, Paul Hamus is mad because if it had gone like he wanted it to, he could have had the people in there blow the top off of the damn building.
That's true. Now let's check the fantasy standings there, Tattoo Boy.
Let's read them up there, boy. Read them up there, boy.
I got to go. I don't know who won. I hadn't checked it since the rodeo's
The
over.
last guy's either got to get a tattoo or write a check.
Well, the thing is the average.
I wrote a check last year, and there's nobody been smart enough to win last twice.
This was awesome. He said we were asking him about being last the other night. And we walked out and he goes, I told Terry the minute I entered this fantasy rodeo deal to put $1,000 in the budget for the charity. So, let's see. Steve Kenyon looks like he won it.
What about Justin Rumford? He couldn't get it pulled up.
Flint Rasmussen second, Bush Knowles third, Oatberry fourth, Randy Corley fifth, Boyd sixth, Justin Rumford seventh. Wayne Brooks 8, Jeff Mitters 9, Joe Beaver 10, Bob Tolman 11, Donnie Gay gets another tat. You two losers.
There's not two losers here.
I finished seventh, but that's a hell of a lot better than 12.
Wouldn't you think as much rodeo as them two have seen and people in their career, Dan, they could not be the last two.
Congratulations, buddy. Let me do this.
So Casey Jones started this thing, and it's really a good deal. But, you know, I hate his guts.
All right, let me do this before we run out of time. This is the 100th episode of National Finals tonight. We've done this show for 10 years now. This is episode number 100. Somebody who has been at every single one of those along with us is this lady that I would like to have come out of the booth, Jackie Ferrando, and come up here. We have a presentation that I would like to give to Jackie Ferrando. You know, when you have these dreams and you start them, some of the players changed at the top. Jackie has been there the entire way with all of us and steered us through some rough waters, and we are proud to have her with us. So Jackie, come on up on stage if you will, and I'm gonna, while she's doing
Y'all
that,
are going to recognize her because she's the lady that was giving
right
away
here, she's coming right
the
over here.
NFR average winner saddles out in the arena.
I want us to stand up and give her applause, and I'm going to get something for her.
That's Boyd Gaming right there for us people.
I love it.
Well, she's the only reason we're here.
I love it that an employee just told the boss what to do. Jackie, get your ass out of the booth. Get down there and stay.
Come on.
That wasn't me.
Give her a round of applause because we love her. She's our Boyd Gaming.
Jackie Ferrando.
All the stuff that's happening here does not happen without her.
These flowers are for you, Jackie, and they weigh about 5 pounds more than the 14 hands liquor we gave away. But those are for you, sweetheart.
Is
right
Skip
there.
here? Because if he is, he'd like for you to pull out one of those roses and hold it in your teeth.
I'll hold them for you.
And Jackie, just stay with us here because we're going to do a couple of things to wrap this up. Donnie, if you'll just set that right there. You know, when we started this 10 years, I can't, if you'll get those pictures up back there, Colin, Joe first. You know, everybody has changed so much over the last 10 years, I thought it would be nice to look back. So first we've got a picture of Joe back when we started this thing.
Oh,
and
no,
if you
don't
could
do this to me.
Yeah, if you could, Joe, this is for you here, and it's,
Don't do this.
he's getting it. He's getting it ready. Is it up there yet? There. See how much Joe has changed just in 10 years right there.
Hey, Joe, can I borrow your chaps?
But I've got a picture.
No, they'd be a little big.
I've got a picture of Donnie here. Donnie's probably changed the most in the last 10 years since we started doing this.
I got taller. Yeah.
Well, but your smile hasn't changed right there. That's
That's your friend. That's your friend that did that.
yeah.
Well, it lasted 30 years.
Looks just like his senior picture.
That's the ugliest baby I ever saw.
That was taken at a night at Ricky and the Red Streaks, and that right there.
Yeah.
We've put together a little video of the 10 years, a short video of what this show has started and over at the Gold Coast and where we have come here to this new home here at the Orleans. So it's just 2 minutes long, but if you'll take a look at it, let's show that. And Colin, if you've got that pulled up, let's take a look here.
Welcome to the entertainment capital of the world. The Gold Coast Casino and Boyd Gaming is proud to present the national finals tonight.
With 8-time world champion bull rider Donnie Gay, 8-time world champion cowboy Joe Beaver. And now, here's your host, award-winning television personality, Mr. Dan Miller.
Our idea here is to talk rodeo, but we want you to get to know some of these young guys, stars of tomorrow.
We need to talk to Mr. Starks and rename this show.
Here we go.
Instead of national finals tonight, there needs to be a big sign that says the Gay Beaver Show.
We have a text message that's come in for you now, Clay. Somebody out there wants to meet somebody. This one's for Clay. It says, heard you were a single man. What is your type of woman?
If I knew that, I would have a woman.
Good evening and welcome to the Orleans Hotel and Casino.
Put together a reel of highlights of this round. And gentlemen, let's just do it here, Don. Let's start off with the bareback riding. Mr. Vold
My
is
man.
All
hot.
right, you know, Jake
man.
Vold, old Canada. I'm going to go ahead and start singing it. This guy has been riding so good.
Oh, God! No!
Cleared out in my front yard, and I just look like this.
Boyd Polhamus and Bob Tolman are both here. Would you welcome these gentlemen?
Last time you did that, you slipped me the tongue. Don't you do that again.
Through the all-around race, I mean, it's within $10,000 now after just one round.
Great prizes. Thank you for being with us here tonight for National Finals tonight. Thank you. 10 years. Would you give these guys a hand up here? And there really is nothing like it. I remember the first year that we did this, people would come up to me and say, well, what's it like? What is this show about? I said, this is like going to the Super Bowl. And right afterwards, heading down to the bar, and Joe Montana is there to talk about what he did during the game. This is so unique in this sport. We're not just giving out buckles. You get things here that you don't get anyplace else. So for Joe Beaver and Boyd Polhamus and Bob Tolman, Jackie Ferrando, Donnie Gay, we thank you so much for making this 10 years so much fun for all of us here. Yep, give them all a hand if you would, please. And again, we could not do this without sponsors. And sponsors now, the prizes that we're going to give away to you all come from our sponsors here, whether it's jeans or hats or whether it's all those prizes, guitars signed by George Strait we've given away over the years, lots of great things. We're going to do that in just a second for you here after we have our closing credits, and we'll bring the lights back up and give away those prizes. But if you will, one more time, thanks for being here. Give them all a hand here. National Finals tonight, 100 episodes. So everybody have a piece of cake.
Thank you for watching and attending the show. We hope you enjoyed this special 100th episode presentation of the National Finals Tonight Show at the Orleans, where all the cowboys go after the rodeo. We invite you to keep the party going at the legendary Buck and Ball. Head to the Buck and Ball Saloon for live music, dancing, beer and drink specials, and best of all, no cover charge. See y'all next year.